Don't ask me to do shit just to get, oh, she's a nice person. Tiffany's so nice and so sweet. That nice.
Try not to request that I do, just goodness, she's a pleasant individual, Tiffany, so decent, thus sweet, that evening I'm worn out on being to you raggedy. And you all languid as of late. A few entertainers have voiced worries about Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey, guaranteeing that these diversion tycoons utilize controlling strategies in the business. I'm simply burnt out on individuals playing with me. Would no one prefer not to work with the expectation of complimentary? I don't for even a moment US that individuals work for. Tiffany Haddish, added to the discussion by posting people including Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart, proposing they may be applying unjustifiable impact inside the amusement world. Comic Feline Williams has indicated the possibility that Tiffany Gehenna's ascent to popularity probably won't be basically as direct as it seems. This idea has started banter about the credibility of Abaddon's public picture, welcoming a more intensive investigate her profession and the chance of a produced individual persona. Did you think she composed Young Lady's Trip Blockhead right, or do you feel that was at that point a content and they gave it to her? It ultimately depends on you, anything you desire to accept. Media outlets has seen portion of Vips have twofold existences yet. Gehenna's way to fame has all the earmarks of being remarkably her own. Williams, in his proclamations, intends to unload the subtleties of Gehenna's process, examining each point during an appearance on the VH. Once Plain and Wanda in the first part of the day show. Feline Williams shared his considerations on a few entertainers, including Lil Rel Howery, Jared Carmichael, Kevin Hart, and Hannibal Buress, with Tiffany Haddish turning into a huge mark of conversation. New off winning an Emmy for his visitor job on Atlanta. Williams involved the chance to scrutinize Gehenna's achievements in parody. He recommended that Haddish probably won't be the first maker of her comedic content and brought up issues about her author authenticity as a comic. Williams commented she's been doing satire since she was 16. You can't let me know you're number one. Tiffany Haddish jokey. Why? Since she hasn't done a visit yet. She hasn't done an exceptional. She has not demonstrated the capacity to tell joke is backtack for in how to anybody. This Critica by Williams welcomes a more profound investigation of what is achievement and legitimacy in the parody scene. Amidst the meeting, when have Wanda Smith featured Tiffany Abaddon's certifiable associate Gian with her crowd as a key to her prosperity. Feline Williams presented a difficult viewpoint he contemplated over the point moment that being genuinely transformed into a quality that media outlets began to sell. Williams called attention to that Haddish's approval inside the business may be connected to her open reverence for Brad Pitt. In the process, he didn't pass up on the opportunity to praise other dark female entertainers like Linnell Melanie Camacho and Miss Laura for their ability and significant jobs in parody. Why? Since you know ain't no one falling asleep with him? You just got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing parody since she was 16. Feline Williams extended his creek by proposing that Tiffany Abaddon's quick ascent to distinction and the valuable open doors that came here. Direction could have involved specific trade-offs. He additionally featured a more extensive issue inside the diversion area, the underrepresentation and restricted open doors for dark entertainers to exhibit the full scope of their gifts. Williams focused on the unmistakable contrast in potential open doors, accessible to dark entertainers contrasted with their white partners. They going to allow you to be a star, lil genuine, yet you're revolting, and white individuals don't trust in monstrous star. They think you must be someone that ladies need to lay down with and men need to be. To be sure, Tiffany Abaddon has freely referenced her affection for Brad Pitt during a meeting on the Live with Kelly and Ryan show. After the Oscars, she related a diverting trade with Pitt in a lift, saying he said in 1 year, assuming he's single, and I'm single, we will make it happen, so you understand what that implies. She cleverly envisioned the result, assuming they were caught in the lift, adding it will be a few pretty infants in this lift. On the off chance that we do this, discussion followed Gehenna's second at the Oscars, where she introduced an honor further featuring her perky and open character that has charmed her to fans, and as per Williams might have affected her progress in Hollywood during a tomfoolery fragment called Cheerful Date Run. Tiffany Haddish shared that she wouldn't wed Brad Pitt. This energetic discussion occurred after her Oscars appearance, where she played the part of introducing an honor. Feline Williams, in his study of Haddish, brought up that her vocation in media outlets truly took off when she began to zero in on being consistent with herself as opposed to squeezing into a specific picture. His viewpoint appears to be legitimate, particularly while considering the battles Tiffany Haddish looked en route to turning into a perceived name in showbiz. Before her advancement, Haddish buckled down for her place in Satyr clubs and confronted various dismissals for acting jobs in a discussion with TMZ. She transparently shared, "I lost all that, every one of my gigs are gone," featuring the unstable idea of her vocation at one point. Moreover, Abaddon wound up amidst debate when charges surfaced about the claim asserted that she and individual humorist Aries Lances were associated with making improv shows that incorporated an underage young lady playing out an interesting demonstration with a sandwich, and another sketch that depicted unseemly dreams, including her sibling, the Tiffin. Haddish thing has that been worked out as of now? Definitely, essentially, basically. Could we at any point discuss it? Not the slightest bit. Not the any stretch, not the least bit. This claim carried further regard for Haddish in the midst of her developing profession, highlighting the difficulties and examination individuals of note frequently face after the claim against Tiffany Abaddon was dropped. She communicated her help and worry for the kids included showing a troublesome period in her profession, where open positions appeared to be scant, alluding to a potential industry boycotting anyway. Her vocation saw a striking elevate when she became related with a story including Brad Pitt, denoting a tremendous U.S. change in her fortunes. The difficulties Haddish confronted raise questions, particularly considering Feline Williams' astounding disclosures about the clouded side of Hollywood. Williams made a surprising case recommending that Steve Harvey, a figure many respect, could have undermined his standard for progress in media outlets. Known for his sharp mind and effective satire specials, Williams has not seen similar standard accomplishment as certain counterparts, prompting conversations about industry boycotting, dissimilar to Kevin Hart, who has taken on lead jobs in significant movies, or Steve Harvey, who has his own show. Williams communicated a feeling of renunciation about his vocation. He had declared plans to resign from stand-up parody, a choice he imparted to his family, yet at first planned to make official in a more conventional setting inside the business. This move started bits of gossip and conversations about why Williams hasn't accomplished a similar degree of achievement as others. Harvey, with whom he has had a long-standing fight. The friction among Williams and Harvey alludes to more profound issues inside media outlets, and the penances some might make for notoriety and achievement. Yet we should dream greater. Is Steve Harvey following up on his own, or is he a piece in a lot bigger game? That is the copying question on many individuals' brains. Well, to be completely forthright with you, Frankie, I had barely any insight into this idea when the advertiser educated me in October. I killed it, cuz that ain't the way I've at any point advanced a show. There's discussion of a figure considerably more impressive than Steve Harvey guiding things from in the background. Enter Tyler Perry, a name inseparable from outcome in the amusement world, particularly known for his ascent in the Atlanta theater scene and the movie's win of his media series. Tyler Perry's way to notoriety, anyway, has been spotted with debate. Murmurs in the business recommend that Perry's desire could have driven him to clash with other large names, including Oprah Winfrey, in the midst of the relentless rivalry of Hollywood. And while I'm hearing this clamor, man, it was insane in light of the fact that there were no individuals of color on TV before Variety turned into a thing. Tyler Perk was the only one out there for quite a while, ascending the stepping stool. In such a climate frequently includes exploring through dim waters, and Perry is supposed to have utilized a few petulant procedures en route. In the wake of vanquishing the movies, Perry directed his concentration toward TV, making hits like Place of Agony. Yet his introduction to television wasn't without its own arrangement of dramatizations, prominently during the talks for a worthwhile partnership bargain and the send-off of a side project, Meet the Browns. A debate amid cutoff time detailed that Perry excused 4 essayists looking for association contracts, starting a huge industry kickback. Author Terry Jackson communicated to Cutoff Time, "We added to north of 100 episodes, yet presently, as we approach the advantages of partnership and side projects, we're sidelined, except if we consent to a disappointing arrangement." Perry's rejoinder was to guarantee sole creation over his ventures. Consequently, yet His deadlock with industry associations didn't stop with the scholars in 2015 Entertainer Association Droop Afra and Entertainer